Alright, so this is going to be a video covering how to set up a drip email campaign. So the client is Pure Solar, Solar Panel Installation Minneapolis. We built their website in Duda. They have a single call to action on the hero image in the main part of the header, which is what we always recommend. But if you scroll down, you'll also see a lead magnet. So the theory being, 2% of people that arrive on the website are going to fill out or are going to click on the schedule the free consultation form. So they're going to take that call to action that we want. But 98 out of the 100 people, 98% are typically not going to do that. Even though they're probably looking for solar panels, they're just not ready to commit to talk to somebody yet or to have a sales rep call them, etc. So what we do is we create a lead magnet where we can get another percentage of people to actually download this free guide by entering their name and email. And by downloading the guide, it does two things for us. One, it gives them this guide that will hopefully sell them that we are the expert on these, or that Mike was the expert on solar panel installation. And it'll answer a lot of their questions already. Two, it'll give us their email address, and we can start dripping emails to them. So when selling, especially large items like a solar panel system that are expensive, you want to hit the client about, let's say 5 to 10 times, right? The go-in theory is about a 7-time hit average where you want to get in front of them. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. Number one is they land on your website. That's your first time to contact them. Two, they download the guide. Now they have the guide, and they can read through that. And then, so we need about 5 more times. So we're going to send them 5 follow-up emails over a period of a couple of days that are going to further sell them on or build trust with them and show them our services or show them these solar services and convince them that, Mike, who the guide's coming from, the emails are coming from, is the expert on solar panel installation. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the system we use for the drip emails is a software called Convertkit. So this is Convertkit. I'll just go to the home page for you so you can see it. So this is Convertkit. There's a lot of different softwares you can use to do drip email campaigns. Infusionsoft, HubSpot, Entreport, Aweber was like one of the original ones. You can even use Zapier, although I don't think the emails are that clean that come from Zapier because we tried that before. But lots of different systems that do this. ClickFunnels, I think, is another very popular one. I just happen to be familiar with ConvertKit, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So we're going to log in. First thing you want to do is create an account for your client. You may want to put their card on file for the account, or you may want to put your card on file and then just build a client. So I've already got the account partially set up. So if you look at the account settings, I've got the company name, and then I've got the email address set up for the client, which is Michael McIntosh. If you want, you can set up custom domains. You can set up landing pages. You can set up products where you're selling educational products. So a lot of great services here from ConvertKit. All right, so the first thing we want to do is go to automations, and we want to create a new automation. And we're going to create an automation. So the first thing we want to do is create a tag for this. So we want to create a tag called, what do we want to call it? We want to call it the guide. So let's call it the Going Solar Real Talk Guide. Let's just say Going Solar Guide. Okay? And then we're going to add that event. All right, so that is our tag. So when somebody is tagged with Going Solar Guide, then we're going to create a series of emails that are going to happen. So let me just name this Going Solar Guide. All right, let's start an email sequence. So I click the plus symbol. We want to do an action, and we want to start an email sequence. And we're going to create, action email sequence. And we're going to create an email sequence. Let's call it, again, Going Solar Guide. All right, now we have our email sequence. So let's edit this step. Or not edit it, let's click on it, right? So it's going to give you some instructions on how to build your email sequence. So this is actually the email, so we can just go ahead and rename this. So first thing I'm going to do is download. Actually, I think I have it saved. Let me find it here. All right, that's not it. Let me see here. So I don't have it on my main drive, so let me just grab it out of my files for this client. All right, here is the file. Oh, let me just download it as a Word doc. So you can see the task was to create a series of 5 to 7 email drips for this lead magnet. So what we did was Matt on my team went through and wrote, how many emails did he write? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, oh, that's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. I like that special offer. All right. So I'm going to have this on the other side, and then I'll just copy and paste this information over here. So first thing we'll do is our subject line. Here's your solar guidebook. Thank you. And then I can grab my information from my email here and just edit that. There we go. So I've dropped it right in there. Now name is just kind of, he used that in the email, but what we want to do is click here and we want to say personalization, and we want to add subscriber first name. All right, so it's going to say, hello, subscriber first name. Thank you for downloading the Going Solar Real Talk Guide. Let's go ahead and make that bold. I'm thrilled that you're thinking about going solar. This guide is packed with all the juicy information you'll need to know to start your journey towards a $0 electricity bill. If you haven't already downloaded the guide, you can do so by clicking here. Let me check that link. Yep, that should be good. Have any questions for me? Please feel free to book consultation. I'm going to take this out. I had a couple edits to these. By clicking this link, we can get those questions answered and speak in more detail about the benefits of going solar. And then I did change the last line here, where it says congratulations. Let's change that. I'm here for any of your solar questions. And that's his name, and we're going to put his call tracking number right in there as well. Let's actually put it right here. There we go. We can make that italicized. All right, what I like to do is kind of just give a couple returns and get that unsubscribe stuff a little bit farther down at the bottom. All right, so this email should go out immediately. So there it goes. So when I select 0, it just makes it immediately. All right, send time has been saved. Let's go ahead and publish this live. And that's done. All right, so that was fairly easy. Once we had the email created, let's add another one. Oh, excuse me, let's add it right here. Add another email. So this one's going to go after 1 day. And let me go back to my emails in my Word doc over here. Again, just showing you that I'm working from this Word doc. And I'm going to grab all my information right there. Okay, so subject, Uncle Sam will pay you to go solar. And this is kind of a longer email. So we'll grab this from the Word doc and we'll get rid of these notes that it has in here. There we go. All right, and then we'll clean the name up. So we'll hit plus, we'll personalize it. We'll add their first name. Let's just read through it, make sure it's right. I'm curious what caught your attention about solar energy in the first place. If you're anything like me and many of my clients, I find it fascinating that we can harness the power of the sun for our everyday lives. Make that exclamation point. But the financial benefit of going solar is what really grabbed our attention. In the last 5 to 7 years alone, we've seen solar system costs drop about 49%. With that being said, the real financial benefit here is the possibility of dropping your electricity bill to $0, right? So let's highlight that. Oops. It jumped on me. Plus, there are currently federal and local incentives in place to encourage us to switch to clean energy. What are the federal benefits of going solar? Glad you asked. Between right now and the end of December 2022, the federal government will refund 20% of your system's cost back to you as a dollar tax credit with not a tax write-off. And keep in mind, this is going away. In 2023, it will drop to 20%, and in 2024, it drops to 10 to 12%. By 2025, solar power will be trending on its own. Let's make sure that it's is right. It is. Get it? It is. Sorry. It on its own, and there won't be a need for tax incentives anymore. Uncle Sam is paying us to get ahead of the curve. All right, what are the local benefits of going solar? I'm going to do a little space there. Are you an Excel customer? I've got news for you. Excel will pay you 0.07 cents. We mean for every kilowatt. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was just actually a clarifying question from my writer. We'll pay you 0.07 cents. So 7 cents for every kilowatt you generate each year. Not what you use, but what you send back to the grid, what you generate. Or not what you use, not what you send back to the grid, but what you generate. Let's underline that. I'll make that stand out a little bit. You'll get a check in the mail at the beginning of every year for 10 years. To put that in perspective, if you spend these earnings on your new solar bills, you'll be able to cover 4 to 5 months worth of expenses. Not an excellent request for your provider might have covered on your card as well. He's got some good information on paying out. Love that. That's good. Let's make sure that link is right. Yep. So I'll tell you a trick. If you add a PS to it, like half the people will just scan the email and not read it. But if you put that PS in there, like they will definitely read that. Let's just make that bold. P.S. If you've probably seen with your street address, I'll design a custom solar array for your home and email it your way. I can only do this for a limited number of people. All right, so that one looks good. We'll hit publish. That's done. All right, let's add another email. Let's send this after 2 days, right? So we're going to give them a little bit of a break. We're going to delete all that. All right, now that you're getting the gist of this, I'm going to kind of speed this up a little bit. So here's our subject. Grab my email copy. There we go. Again, I'm going to replace the name. Personalize it. So grab a first name. Hi, in my last email I went over some of the financial benefits of going solar. Fortunately, I have more good news for you in that regard. Let's do this rapid fire FAQ style. Love it. Enjoy. So these look good. In fact, I'm going to sign up for this. I'm going to read through these again. I don't want to read through the rest of these while we're doing this training video because I might burn you guys out. So what I'm going to do is once I launch this, and what you should do too, is I'm going to sign up for it and test it and then read every email that comes in both on my desktop and my mobile and make sure everything looks good and reads right. All right, that's the best way to test it. And again, from a sales perspective, what are we doing here? We're sales is hard because people have questions and rebuttals, and you have to go through all this training to kind of figure out exactly how to answer those questions, and that takes time, right? And it's hard because you got to be on the spot. You got to know the answers right away. Sometimes you're on the phone with the person, you're talking to them face to face. Whereas what you're doing now is this is selling automatically for you. This is answering those questions that people always have automatically in these emails. So when they finally schedule that appointment with you, they're ready to buy, right? They don't have a lot of questions left. You pretty much answered all their questions. All right, so we're going through this. That looks good. Get a little space here, just kind of clean it up. And then go ahead and get that. I'm going to make this a PS. keep our formatting correct, the same. All right, publish that one. We've got, now we'll send the next one, let's say, after 3 days. So typically the saying is, you add a day between each email. And this one's going to be, can solar panels handle Minnesota weather? There we go. And then I'm just grabbing this from a copy over here. It's being a little finicky. I can delete that. Replace the name. Now, the great thing about this course is this is a real client. We're really doing the work for the client, so you're watching it happen. So it looks good. Let's add these spaces here. Go ahead and publish that. One thing I want to do is add this line just to make sure people can call in. Publish those changes. Now I love this system, right? It's real easy to go in and just make these quick edits. A little space there. And when you start sending these, you're going to be able to go in here and see which ones are getting open, which ones are converting. You're going to get a lot of benefit to this system. Okay, so we got our immediate email, second, third, fourth. 2 more to go. So email number 5. Let's keep that at 3 days. We can actually pick what days we want to send to. So you could look at, historically, if you've got data on what emails work best, what days work best. Typically, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the best days. But then again, you got to be, keep in mind that if you're waiting to send Tuesday and Thursday, you're really spreading out your emails, over a period of a long time. So it's going to be a while before you start getting to those conversion emails. All right, let's throw information in there. Replace our name, personalization, and we're actually going to go through and make sure that we have our first name in our form. So we might have to actually edit our form to do that. So this looks good. So I'm going to grab this information here. There we go. And we'll leave that in there. All right, that looks good. And we got one more to do. Let's send this after 4 days. Let's add one more day. There we go. All right. All right, and we are almost done with our emails. All right, sorry, I had to pause it there for a second while the dogs finished their barking. And we're going to publish this last one. Let me get a couple returns on here. And we hit publish, and we are good to go. So our drip campaign is ready to go. Let's take a look at it. So we have our Going Solar Guide. We have a tag called the Going Solar Guide, and we have our drip email series. And let's click on it and take a look at it. And here we can see it. We have 0 subscribers. I do want to take a look at the emails. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to occur over a period of 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in 2 weeks, you should have your conversions completed from anyone that signs up for this campaign. All right. Now let's make sure this is actually linked to our form. All right. So we're going to go back to our website, and let's go to our Duda editor. I'm going to find our client here. There we go. So let's edit this. Okay. Let's find our lead magnet form, which is here. So I want to edit this now and make sure I'm getting their first name and their last name. All right, and hopefully not mess this up too much. So let's make this say first name. Okay. And then let's add a field. Let me change this to first name, even though this doesn't actually show. So that's first name, but we're going to hide that. And this is going to be last name. So that's our field label. This will be, there we go, yeah. Last name. Make that required. All right, let's see how that looks. First name, last name. Okay, it's showing those, so let's unshow those. There we go. I did that accidentally. All right, first name, last name, email, get the guide. All right. Now let's make sure we do the same thing on our. Actually, let's check mobile and see how that looks. Should wrap first name, last name, email. Yep, perfect. Now let's look at our pop-up. Let's edit our pop-up. Edit this form. We're going to add a field up here for last name. Make sure that's not shown, and this will say last name. Make it required. This will now be first name. And we can hide that. And this can be first name. All right, should be good. Oh, those are still popping up, so let's just get rid of those. There we go. Hide that. And hide that. All right, got first name, last name, email. Okay, let's republish that. Now we need to actually link Convertkit to it. We should be able to do that with a zap. So what we do is we do integration, and we go to webhooks, right? And we actually go to Zapier and create a webhook. So we use Zapier for a lot of our connections. So I'm going to go to my Zapier dashboard. So let's make a zap. We'll call it the Pure Solar Guide. And we're going to do a webhook. And we're going to make it a catch hook. So catch hook means it's actually going to wait for somebody to fill out the form, and that'll trigger it. We're going to hit continue, and then I'm going to copy this webhook, and I'm going to go back to my forms. So I'll do my pop-up form here, integration, webhooks. There's my catch. Put it in there. Done. Now I'm actually going to go back to my home page, or welcome page. Let me get out of the mobile format. And grab right here, go to integration, webhook, put in my new hook. There we go, and save that. So now basically, anytime somebody fills this form out, they're going to be driven to the thank you page where they can download the guide based on that way the form is set up, right? Because after submission, they're taken to this PDF download page. But also, we're going to integrate it with Zapier. So anybody that fills out the form, the information is also going to be sent to Zapier. And then when that happens, we're going to also send the information to Convertkit. All right. So we've got our Zap set up. Let's hit continue. Now we need to actually fill out the form to trigger it. So let's go to the website, which is here. Let's go down to the form. We'll put in our name. Now, and here's the pop-up too. Let's close that out. And then, that's interesting, the pop-up keeps, what we need to do is actually disable the pop-up from occurring on this page. So I'm going to make a note to my developer to see if that's possible. I'll just send him a quick email. I'll pause the video while I do that. Okay, we've tested our trigger, or we've tested the form. We sent another edit to the developer that we noticed a small glitch where the pop-up was popping up on the actual page that they would download that that lead magnet on, so we got rid of that. Now I'm going to test the trigger. So there, you can see that Zapier received the information because we put the webhook in the form field, in the integration field, and it's got my information. So now I can continue. Now I can do anything I want with like this information. So what I want to do is, I want to bring up Convertkit, and I want to add a tag to a subscriber, and then hit continue. And I'm going to use my account that I've already connected to my Zapier. And then the tag, it's going to show me all my different tags. So it's going to be the Going Solar Guide, right? So now your Going Solar Guide, first name is going to, so what's happening here is, because I actually submitted the form, then the form reported the information to Zapier, and now Zapier has this information in its test, right? So it's allowing me to fill out exactly what I want to do with this information and how I want to report this information to Convertkit. So my tag is Going Solar Guide. Then you have my email, which is whatever email address it gets from the form. And then this is why I separated the first name, last name. So now we can actually pull out the first name, because we don't want to send a bunch of emails that say, hey Scott McIntosh, or hey John Smith, or hey Jane Smith. We want to just use their first name. And that's how we set it up in our email drip campaigns. There is no webinar, so that's it. So we're going to hit continue, and we're going to test and continue, and now we're going to turn it on. All right, now you have actually created a drip email campaign from a lead magnet in your Duda website using Convertkit. So I should actually start receiving this series now. But again, like I said, test it out. So I'm going to go back to the website. I'm going to test it out again with a different email address. I should go to the thank you page now, and I should now get also triggered to get the initial immediate email with the guide, and I should get the subsequent emails over the next 2 weeks. And I'll make sure and test those, and if I see any issues or if I see ways to improve them, I'll go through and make those improvements. All right, good luck setting up your clients' drip email campaigns.